It's one fluid motion, turn and hit. It's not backswing turn swing. If you do that, you'll jam yourself up within 2 shots. Today we're going to break down the forehand frame. From a side view, notice how my motion has no finger or wrist action. Pay close attention to this trajectory. See how it's forward and downward? Now, watch what happens when I add finger and wrist action. Look closely at the arc now, at this trajectory. It's going upward, isn't it? So, why do many players struggle to lift underspin? It's because your wrist and forearm are not independent, they move upward as a single, rigid unit. When facing heavy underspin, this is why you often hit the ball into the net. You must use your fingers at the moment of contact to create an action that's separate from your forearm. After I've gripped the ball, the follow-through can be fixed, but the initial contact must have that separation. Otherwise, the entire swing of your arm takes too long, and you won't be able to properly brush the ball in time. Now, for a forehand drive, watch me. See how the wrist is locked? But for a loop, if my wrist is locked, I can't properly grip the ball, even if the swing path is upward. That's why I need this wrist snap. Once I have that, I can add more power for a power loop. So, everyone must learn to separate the action of your wrist from your forearm. Don't just rotate your forearm like this. Instead, lead with your fingers for a crisp snap. Lock it at contact, and then accelerate through the stroke. With this motion, you'll be able to create the arc to lift the ball. Okay, let's get back to the frame. For a stable forehand frame, there are several key conditions you need to meet. First, your shoulder shouldn't sway back and forth. What is a swaying shoulder? Look, this is what I mean by swaying the shoulder. It's when your shoulder opens up and lunges forward on every stroke. This is incorrect. Next, the elbow. What is the most common elbow problem for amateur players? Watch me. If you look closely at any player with a good forehand, their elbow position is generally stable. When looping, the motion is like this. You never see players looping with their elbow flying out like this. To improve your consistency, you have to keep that elbow supported and stable. The distance between your elbow and your body shouldn't constantly change. Not left, up, to the side, or down. Now, when the elbow is stable, let's see what happens. Everyone, watch my elbow. With the elbow stabilized, isn't the stroke much more consistent? Now, does my stroke look tense? If you don't solve this issue of tension, you'll always feel like you're using a lot of effort but generating no real power. The problem lies in your shoulder. So how do we fix a tense shoulder? When your elbow can stay on the same plane as your waist throughout your forehand stroke, your motion will look much more fluid. Look, see how it's synchronized with my waist? Players who have a stiff stroke usually have their elbow up near their chest. This leads to a cascade of problems. The ball goes long, so they flatten the racket. It goes in the net, so they lift their arm. For the forehand drive, what's the solution? Keep your elbow at the height of your waist. See? Keep it at your waist, and the whole stroke looks better. Again, watch my elbow closely. Regarding the elbow, I'm going to hit 6 balls. Watch the first 3 versus the last 3 and tell me which is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, were the first 3 correct, or the last 3? You can still hit the ball with the first technique, but it will compromise your power. You've definitely seen players with this kind of stroke at your club. This technique often leads to netting underspin balls and hitting topspin balls long. For example, against underspin and against topspin. When your elbow points backward during the backswing, it naturally causes the racket face to close too much. Because it feels natural, while the correct way feels awkward. You can't take back the racket like this, you will most likely take it back like that. With that kind of backswing, you're already positioned to hit down on the ball. See? It forces your racket face to close over the ball. From there, you have to scoop upwards just to get the ball over the net. If you try to hit forward from that position, it'll go straight into the net. So you naturally compensate by creating this kind of scooping motion. With this swing path, you might return a topspin ball, but you won't be able to lift an underspin ball. So, the correct way, during your backswing, keep your elbow tip pointing down and follow this swing path. See, everyone? Now this motion looks fluid. And the structural frame of the stroke is correct. So, the direction of your elbow is critical. During the backswing, don't let it point backward, make sure it points downward. Then, use your wrist to make fine adjustments to the racket angle. You can close the racket face, or open it slightly. Make these adjustments with your wrist, not your whole elbow. Adjusting with the elbow creates too much variation and leads to unforced errors. Okay, next topic, meeting the ball in front. What does that actually mean? In a match, if I can meet it in front like this, my opponent has no chance to attack. Did I use a lot of power? No. Here's a common problem for amateurs: on the forehand, they don't meet the ball in front, and on the backhand, they don't create enough of an arc. Amateurs often do the opposite, they punch forward on their backhand and just lift straight up on their forehand. They've got it completely backward. Your backhand needs to create an arc, and your forehand needs to drive forward. Master this, and your game will improve dramatically. So, how do we correctly meet the ball in front on the forehand? What's the key? Watch my body. Look, when I don't use my body, even if my arm reaches as far forward as possible, this is still not truly meeting the ball in front. So how do we get there? Watch my legs and my hips. Using a topspin ball as an example, my hand starts here. As the ball comes, I use my body to rotate back, and then rotate forward to meet the ball, returning from an angled to a square position. From angled, back to square. It's the same for underspin. This is what we call body rotation. By keeping the racket in front and rotating your body, you get into position sideways. By using your legs, you get down to the ball's height. Okay, let's try one against underspin. Get down, and lift. Down, and lift. See that? How do you ensure you meet the ball in front? It's all driven by your body. If you don't use your body rotation, your arm action alone might look like you're meeting it in front. But to others, it just looks like a push. The feel is completely different. You can't always face the table square on. You need to rotate your body about 45 degrees for the backswing. Then, rotate back to square as you hit the ball. It's a rhythm: rotate back, then forward. Rotate back, then forward. This is all driven by the body. Once you have proper body rotation, you'll naturally meet the ball in front. Second point, what happens if you don't meet the ball in front? You serve, your opponent returns a soft push, you stand still and, you hit it into the net. This is caused by not meeting the ball in front. Meeting the ball in front means my body, especially my right side, has to move to the ball and fill that space. See? As the ball comes, my body moves forward and I've closed that gap. Right? Watch again. In table tennis, especially on the forehand side, most returns won't be that deep or jamming. The better the player, the more they will use short pushes, half-long serves, and short balls. You only really get simple long balls as a beginner. Plus, their pushes will have spin and placement. Against these balls, you must use your body to get into the right position. Meeting the ball in front isn't just about a higher quality shot. The key is using your body and hands to adjust to the ball so you can transfer your power effectively. If you can't move in with your body, you can't hit any ball that's a bit shorter, higher, or slower with power. This is a major reason why players can't execute their loops in a real match. Your footwork should bring your right hip into position. You're adjusting with the right side of your body. So, to meet the ball in front, you need to have the mindset of actively moving to the ball. If the ball comes to my perfect spot, say, a serve and attack situation at 0-0, I can just stay put and loop it, engaging my core and legs. You're often not afraid of a deep ball. The real problem is the ball that looks like an easy opportunity that you can attack, but you keep missing. Those are the shots we tend to make the most errors on. If you don't rotate your body, you can't even get the ball over the net. So what's the purpose of rotation? It's for better positioning. It's just like when you get a slightly high, half-long push. Why do you miss it? But if you rotate and move in, you can hit that ball with full power. Let's say the ideal contact point is this far from your body. You must use your body and footwork to move yourself to that ideal contact point. By doing this, I can consistently line up my shot. So, when moving to meet the ball and find your contact point, you can't just reach with your arm. After you rotate, you assess the ball's depth. If it's perfect, stay put. If it's a little short, lean in. If it's even shorter, take a step in. By rotating first, you give yourself the ability to then use your body to close any distance. Without that initial rotation, you're stuck adjusting only with the reach of your arm. And your arm only has a fixed length. You can't reach everything. If the ball is too short, you simply can't get to it. And if you just stand closer, you'll get jammed by deep balls. This is why positioning is key. You must prepare for the deepest possible ball. You can always move in for a short ball. But you can't back up in time for a long one. No one is fast enough to back up in time. So, the only solution is to rotate and open up your body. This means turning my torso to the side, which then allows me to move forward to meet the ball. By meeting it in front, I can stay in the rally. This is the only way I can get my body into the correct position. So, your body movement must lead your arm. It will feel awkward at first, but insist on it, even if it's just a small rotation. Watch me do a smaller rotation. Now, if a short ball comes, because I'm not standing flat-footed but have this small, continuous motion, I can instantly move in. Because I'm already rotating, the moment I see a short ball, my body is primed to move in and adjust. But if I stand here completely static, my only option is to reach out and push with my arm. In a match, that ball can go anywhere, to any spot. Your reaction will almost always be to just stick your arm out. Keep your racket in front of your body. The motion is not, pull arm back, turn body, swing arm. It's not three separate movements. The hand stays in front of the body, and the body turns. Look, hand stays in front, and the body does the turning. This is the only way to achieve a coordinated movement. The turn leads the hand. Your core supports the arm. It's one fluid motion, turn and hit. It's not backswing turn swing. If you do that, you'll jam yourself up within 2 shots. Don't swing your arm back independently. Keep it here, so your arm and body are unified. Then it's turn and hit. Turn and hit. Underspin or topspin, the principle is the same. It's not backswing turn loop. After 2 shots like that, you'll lose all confidence in your stroke. This is how you get your body to lead your arm. The arm must always stay in front of the body. It cannot be pulled back to your side. If you pull your arm to your side, you will always be late for the shot.